Let's talk about things you don't know until after you've bought a Harley Davidson motorcycle. It's a surprise. Number one is helmets. Everyone that rides a motorcycle knows all about helmets, don't they? But now all of a sudden you're sitting upright. And that means your head and helmet are in the wind. And you're gonna find out really fast that a lot of helmets catch the wind in a horrible way, which basically means your head's gonna be shaking around all over the place if you've got the wrong helmet. It makes riding really unpleasant, and I'm talking about all types of helmets, open face and full face helmets. And I wish I could just say to you, listen, just buy this type of helmet. It works really well. People are always emailing me, asking me what type of helmet I use. It doesn't really work that way. All of our bikes are slightly different, even if we're buying the same bike. Might have a different size windscreen. You might have a different seat, which changes your seating position. We're all different heights and we all ride in different styles. Unfortunately, what I've found over the years is the only way to figure out if your helmet is going to be okay on your bike is to test different helmets. That's a pain in the butt and costs money. And it's even more complicated because helmets come in different head shapes. For example, Bell helmets make fantastic helmets, but I can never ever under any circumstances wear them because they just don't fit the shape of my head. This is the helmet that I wear most of the time, but it's a very old, showy helmet, and it seems to work really well because it is compressed, let's say. So that's one thing I look for, the helmet that sits the lowest and the narrowest, because theoretically that should catch the wind less. But I've got a whole heap of helmets sitting over there that I've used over the years that are crap on this street glide. Hi, my name's Eamon, welcome to the channel. If you like what I'm doing, check out the website oldnotdead.club, grab yourself some awesome supporter gear, like this winter hoodie, helmet sticker. Keeps the channel going, keeps the videos flowing, just like the fantastic sponsor of this video, Resurgence Gear. Motorcycle clothes that are AAA rated and look like casual clothes, safe, comfortable and cool. Old Not Dead viewers use the code OldNotDead for a 10% discount. How fantastic is that? Number two, modifications. Until you've bought a Harley Davidson, you're not going to understand how much money you want to spend on modifications. Notice how I didn't say you have to spend money, you're going to want to spend money. And I'm saying want because it's a Harley, and that's one of the main attractions to buying a Harley. You can modify them, customize them, change things around, bolt on things to make them exactly the way you want, whether that's in looks or in sound or in speed. That's what's good about them. You won't really understand how big the Harley Davidson modification universe actually is and what the possibilities are until you're an insider playing the game. Harley haters use this to criticize the brand. They'll see it as a negative. They'll say, why do you have to spend big money on a motorcycle and then you've got to change everything or pay extra to do whatever to the motorcycle? First of all, big money is subjective. Try buying a Singer Porsche. That's big money. What about a Planet 9 $100 million yacht? That's big money to me. So here in the land of Oz, even though Harleys are imports, you can buy an older Harley for as little as $10,000 and you can spend a little bit more and make it look fantastic. That's big money to some people, but not if you look at it on a worldwide scale. It's the fun of this that's the actual attraction. Doesn't all fun cost money? Modifying your bike in the way that you want is one of the attractions. It's fun. You can't do that with a lot of the other brands. Well, you can, but it's a lot harder, it's a lot more expensive, and there's not really that many parts available in both the aftermarket and from the manufacturer. Pain in the butt. Harleys are easy. It's like being a kid again with a big Lego set. You take this off and you bolt that on and you build whatever you like. It's not really building, is it? It's bolting. Harley riders are Lego kids. Mods are good. Now remember, when you sell your bike, unless you've bolted on bits that other people absolutely love, the money you've spent on all these mods is probably gone. Number three is earplugs. That's these. Are your friend. So even though Harleys sound great, they're pretty loud and sometimes they're just plain noisy. I'm old enough now to have lived through a lot of loud activities, and I'm smart enough to know that a few cents spent on some disposable earplugs is going to save your hearing, and you're not going to be as tired on your rides. Straight pipes with no mufflers, full exhaust systems, modified engines, blah, blah, blah. They're loud, like really loud. They most often sound great, but they make you really tired if you're sitting on top of them for a long time. I just use basic foam earbuds that take the edge off the loudness. They'll actually reduce the noise level by about 10 to 30 decibels depending on which ones you buy. Now that's actually a lot, and it's really beneficial because they say that the safe level is 90 decibels and you can listen to that, I think, for a full day And every 2 decibels over that, the safe level is reduced by half. So if you go to 92 decibels, well, you know, it's half a day is safe. And if you go to 94 decibels, well, it's a quarter of a day. How loud are Harleys? So the safe level keeps going down in time as you increase the decibels. So if you've got straight pipes, you may as well pack up and go home now. Now, I've found riding the touring bikes with the exhaust under the saddlebags sort of muffles the sound a little bit. I think because the pipes are long, the sound is going right out the back and it bounces a little bit off the saddlebags, so it's not as bad. But the difference in riding all day with earplugs and no earplugs is night and day. If I ride all day without earplugs, I'm coming home and sitting on the couch and that's it. If I have earplugs in, well, I'm home and I'm doing the next thing. So why stay loud and proud? Well, I say loud pipes save lives. It's a cliche, but it's 1,000,000% true. If anyone tells you that that is BS because the sound goes out the back or whatever, you only need 1 split second of extra warning compared to a silent bike to save your life. I'm a believer through experience and you cannot convince me of anything else. I always laugh at the people who call BS on loud pipes because I guarantee you they've got no experience. Ask them if they've done 50,000 kilometers in and out of traffic and different types of conditions with a really loud bike, and then ask them if they've done the same number of kilometers on a very quiet bike. I guarantee you if you do those two things, you will see that loud pipes will save you from a lot of situations. Now, number 4, Harleys don't corner but, and the but is important. Now, the first Harley I bought was a Fat Boy in the early 90s, and the first few corners I took, I was scraping the floorboards with sparks flying everywhere. It was sort of cool, but very scary, because all of a sudden I'd lost my lean angle. I went from lots to nothing. I think on a sports bike, you probably get 45, 50 degrees on the street if you're a really good rider. And a Fat Boy, I believe, is about 27 degrees. So you've sort of cut it in half. It's a serious culture shock, but of course, scraping the floorboards makes you feel that you're cool, so it's a bonus. Now, I don't see it as a problem because anyone who's got a modern touring bike will understand that you can make them hammer, and they've got more lean angle than a Fat Boy or a Breaker. I think you've got about 33 degrees. And what that means is you can give your friend your street glide and he can take most corners at double the speed limit. At the very least, hammer along and have fun. And of course, only friends do that. We're a force for good, not evil. And that's because the tax collectors have convinced everyone that doing 3 kilometers over the speed limit makes you the devil's child. I had to slip that one in. So remember the old cliche, it's better to ride a slow bike fast than a fast bike slow. Number 5, torque is better than power. Until you feel it, you probably won't understand it. Torque is pulling power. It makes Harleys very enjoyable to ride because they've got heaps of torque and you can easily, with some basic mods, give them way more. You'd be surprised at how quick you can get these tanks off the line up to speed. Now that's torque. And Harley torque is really low in the rev range. It usually kicks in at 2,000 or 3,000 revs. So none of this revving to 15,000 revs and having to keep it there through all the gears. There's a lot of hard work riding that way. All the torque is down low. You can be lazy. You can cruise, but you can still, trust me, you'll do fine on the road. Trust me, do your own research. It really does make these bikes a pleasure to ride, even if you want to ride aggressively. If you haven't tried it, it's sort of like the difference between a diesel 4-wheel drive and a sports car. A lot of Harley riders will probably agree with me, it's very difficult to go back to a high revving machine. Now, number 6, people look at you differently. So when you ride a Harley, people look at you in all sorts of strange ways, sometimes good, sometimes bad, probably because the bikes make you stand out. Now, what a lot of people don't understand before they buy a Harley is it won't really instantly turn you into a cool dude, even if you've got a very cool bike. Well, maybe if you've got a really super cool chopper, it might balance out some of your dweeb traits. Now, some people are going to think really badly of you. You make too much noise, you're a criminal, you're a fool for giving up your Power Ranger suit just so you can rev your bike at the lights.
You guys know that everyone thinks you're total fags, right? Just wanted to let you know.
And some people will be envious because it's a lot of money for many people. And envious people are sometimes hidden in the Harley hater crowd. There are Harley haters everywhere, but I find that the positives outweigh the negatives. And often when you're parking your bike or getting petrol or whatever you're doing, People come up and talk to you. Harleys have a bit of mystique about them. Generally speaking, people love them. I found that it started many conversations with people that I would never ever get to meet without having that motorcycle.
How are you, mate?
Harley Davidson. I think I've spoken to you before, have I?
Me?
Did I tell you the story about in America? There's a club in America, it's Harley Davidson Club.
And that leads us into point number 7, which is welcoming community. The community that surrounds Harley Davidson is absolutely awesome, with welcoming groups of riders absolutely everywhere. It really brings people together. There are lots of local Facebook groups that organise rides in your area. There are Facebook groups that organise charity events. There's our Facebook group, which instantly makes you cool if your Harley hasn't already. And there are formal motorcycle clubs, social clubs, or more hardcore clubs if that's your thing. And of course, there are Harley owners groups run from dealerships all around the world. They organise rides every week. I've found them to be very welcoming and full of different types of people, so you're definitely going to meet somebody that you get along with. And other brands of motorcycles just can't offer this, or at least not to this level. And informally, there are people that you always meet along the way that have a common love of motorcycles. You might meet them on trips, or even just parking your bikes at the local shops, like in point 6. People always come up and talk to you. It's awesome for meeting people. Now, the importance and the benefit of the Harley Davidson community is often underestimated by outsiders. There's a lot of hidden loneliness and despair in people, especially in men. So it's actually really good for you, for your soul, to meet people and to make new friends, even just acquaintances, or to be around people. I think human beings are social animals. That's the way we're designed. It's good for you to be around other people. So I say get into the community and make some new friends. If you like this topic and you want to delve deeper into it, I'll link a video up here somewhere that you can really get into.
Using all that's left, somewhere in your chest, on your sweetheart hidden mist. Oh, oh.